Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about Kirby Dach and if he's Canada's best 2019 NHL draft prospect. But to really answer that question, we're going to have to look at his play style, his stats, and ultimately how he compares against Canada's other prospects going into the 2019 NHL draft. Now, for people that especially don't know who Kirby Dach is, I'll be filling you guys in throughout this video as well. Now, Kirby Dach has been making a name for himself in the past couple of years, becoming one of the best centers to be in this 2019 NHL draft, which is a draft that is filled with centers, by the way. But while he's looking to be one of the best center prospects, he's also looking to be one of the best prospects in general in this 2019 NHL draft class. It's looking pretty solid, and Kirby Dach is, I think, leading the race when it comes to Canadian skaters and ultimately Canadian players. Now, a little bit of facts for Dach, if you don't know who he is. He's a 17-year-old center for the Saskatoon Blades in the WHL. He's 6'4", 198 pounds, so he's a big boy, one of the bigger boys in this 2019 NHL draft. He was born in St. Albert, Alberta, which is pretty much just a suburb of Edmonton. Last season, when he was 16 years old with the Saskatoon Blades, he had a very good year. In 52 games, he had 7 goals, but 39 assists for 46 points. He was a beast last year in the World Hockey Championships. He played 5 games, had 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points. He was really making a name for himself in the WHL. He had a fantastic season. And after that stellar performance last season, he was looking to build on that, maybe become a better all-around goal scorer, maybe become an all-around better player, and boy, so far this season, we've seen the effects of that for sure. In the 2018-2019 season, the WHL for the Saskatoon Blades, he's been straight phenomenal, having 14 games played, 8 goals, 16 assists for 24 points, as 5th across the entire WHL, and you gotta remember, of course, they allow up to 20-year-olds, so he's playing at maybe 18-year-old, maybe 19-year-old, maybe 20-year-olds. He's playing against older opponents most of the time, and he's 5th among skaters in general when it comes to points. He has been straight phenomenal, and he has pretty much just been demolishing every team he comes across, which has just been amazing to watch. Now, if you're going to be 5th across the entire WHL, you're likely first among U18 players, and he definitely is. He's crushing that as he's first in U18 players, which basically means under 18 players there that are eligible for that 2019 NHL draft. So he's done fantastic so far in the WHL, and while I had some lofty expectations for him coming into this season, he's been straight amazing and has been crushing every expectation that he's had. So far, he cemented himself as one of the top players throughout this draft, not just from Canada, but in general. I think he has to be top 5 in most everybody's mock draft, because at this point, he's proved all of that was wrong. Any little area that you thought his game was kind of lacking in, he's kind of rounded it out so far. He's very fantastic in a lot of key areas, and right now, he seems like one of the more balanced players throughout this draft. As I said, I think he's a pretty complete player. Offensively, we know he's a great passer, and he's shown that already. That is his biggest strength, and he is obviously elite at that. Offensively, though, goal scoring, he has improved it so far. He's up to a much better rate than he was last year, and so far we've seen a bigger improvement in that, especially in his shot, on the power play as well. He has great offensive awareness, and offensively, he is, again, like I said, a complete player all around. Defensively, I think he's pretty underrated. From the highlights that I've seen, he's pretty tenacious. He's able to get this poke check in pretty nice. He's an overall very good defensive player, and while that isn't his strength, he has a lot of complementary assets. Face-off wise, he's learning, of course, as most young centers do, but he's also, I think, going to transition very well to the NHL level. Physicality-wise, there's not much there, mostly because he scores 3 points a game, it seems like, at this rate. But right now, Kirby Dach is not that type of player. Maybe he learns that stuff down the line, but right now, it's his skill that makes him this good. But Kirby Dach is set to become one of the more complete players in this 2019 NHL draft. Last year, I had a bit of complaints about him, at least on his offensive game, that, hey, he was an assist machine, but he couldn't really score any goals there. But this season, he's really been neglecting that. He's done a lot of good in a lot of key areas and really has pushed my opinion to the side, and now he's really proved me wrong. So now that we know Kirby Dach and how good he is, are there really any other Canadian players that can rival Kirby Dach for the highest drafted Canadian player? Well, there are some competition, and there's some elite competition too. I think the biggest player to maybe overcome Dach throughout the year is Dylan Cousins. Now, last month in my mock draft, I had Dylan Cousins over Kirby Dach, but it was just a slight barely lead. Now I think Dach has overtaken him, but Cousins is still a fantastic player as well. He's in the same league, of course, the WHL, and those two guys will be really pegged together, even throughout the World Junior Championships. Now, Cousins has 19 points in 14 WHL games. He's second in U18 scoring when it comes to WHL prospects, so he's also very good, but I don't know if he's quite Dach good. Dach has shown amazing talent so far, and while I was a Cousins fan, I had him over Dach a little bit. To me, I feel like Dach has, at least this month, cemented himself as the better player. For me right now, the Cousins could take him. Again, this still is early in the season, but right now those two are going to go head to head when it comes to the points throughout the whole year. So it's going to be a big battle to see who gets picked above one another at the end of the draft and, of course, at the end of the year. But when it comes to Canada's other players in this draft, it's looking to be a pretty good draft for Canada. They got some other solid players. You got Bowen Byram, who's looking to be one of the best or if not the best defenseman in this draft. He's also very good. You got Lavoie, who maybe is a top 10 draftee. He looks great as well in the QMJHL. Then you got Ryan Suzuki, who is Nick Suzuki's brother, the prospect in Montreal. He's looking solid as well, and at least a top 15 pick. And then you got Payne Krebs, who is also solid. I have some skepticism about him, but he could be another great forward for Canada as well. But overall, Dach is looking to be the cream of the crop when it comes to Canadian prospects and when it comes to Canada's future in the NHL, especially in this 2019 NHL draft. Dach looks to be the best right now. That's not saying that Cousins could overtake them, or maybe Byram has an amazing season again. Dach's position right now is not certain, but right now he's proved himself as the best Canadian guy and one of the best centers in this draft. But he's looking to be a fantastic center in a long line of fantastic centers when it comes to this 2019 NHL draft. There's a lot of fantastic centers, not just from Canada, but USA and other countries as well. It's looking to be a very solid draft class, and while I'd still put the 2018 draft class ahead of them, 2019 draft is looking to be very solid as well. And of course, as a Canadian center, he's going to have lofty expectations put on him, especially in the World Junior Championships. Of course, the World Junior Championships will be hosted in Vancouver this year, so Canada is going to have some pressure to get it done this year, but of course, with Dach, he's probably going to lead Canada to something, at least a medal there. Dach, of course, has fantastic skill, and that World Junior team for Canada will be very solid once again, as it usually is. But again, it's going to be really fun to see Kirby Dach, especially in the World Junior Championships, to see how well he rules, and of course throughout the year to see where Kirby Dach ultimately lands for the 2019 NHL Draft. But right now, he's made a strong impression, especially for the first hump of the season, and right now he's rolling like he has ever have, and right now he is the best Canadian center, at least in my eyes, when it comes to the 2019 NHL Draft. But of course, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about Kirby Dach and the stats that I listed here? Where would you put him in this mock draft? And do you think he is Canada's best prospect right now? Would you put maybe Cousins ahead of him? Would you put maybe Byram ahead of him? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and what do you think about Dach's placement right now in the draft? Now, if you want some more Grav goodness, you can watch this video where I talk about Mike Gio and if he should be fired from the St. Louis Blues. But that's going for it, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe. Again, tell me down below your thoughts on Kirby Dach and where you put him in your mock draft. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.